Perfect.
Front row seat.
Opportunity with the CFMA, so they're having a fight over it. Yeah, I don't think we're making it together. Let's try to set up the dog. Yeah, it's all about
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, the only thing is it's like hard to get an aisle. Yeah. Are you guys okay with those seats or did you want to sit in here? No? Okay. Well, oh, there's Jen and Joanne. Yeah, I don't know where Bridget went. We could go to the front. Do you want to go to the front?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the front. Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, could you please take your places? This is stage 1. There is no evacuation of the building at this moment. So please take your seats. Hi folks, you might have to listen to this annoying noise until the fire marshal turns off the alarm. So we apologize, or whoever, whatever, it's God's will.
another one rides the bus. Well, we have a hot show in store for you tonight.
What?
Sorry about that. To the accordion player who lost their F reed, we found it. That was in the key of F. Okay.
Go on. Okay.
I went to the market.
Mon petit panier sous mon bras.
I went to the market.
Mon petit panier sous mon bras.
The first girl I met
was la fille d'un avocat. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout.
The first girl I met
was la fille d'un avocat.
The first girl I met
was la fille d'un avocat.
She said, what have you got?
Dans ce beau petit panier-là. Oh, I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout.
She said, what have you got?
Dans ce beau petit panier-là.
She said, what have you got?
Dans ce beau petit panier-là.
I've got some apples.
N'en achèteriez-vous pas? Oh, I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout.
I've got some apples.
N'en achèteriez-vous pas?
I've got some apples.
N'en achèteriez-vous pas?
Give me 2 dozen.
Bonhomme de Pérossa. Oh, I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout.
Give me 2 dozen.
Puis le bonhomme de Pérossa.
Give me 2 dozen.
Puis le bonhomme de Pérossa.
I gave her 2 dozen.
Mais le bonhomme il payait pas. Oh, I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout.
I gave her 2 dozen.
Mais le bonhomme il payait pas.
I gave her 2 dozen.
Mais le bonhomme il payait pas.
Such is the business.
Avec la fille d'un avocat. Oh, I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. I love you. Vous m'entendez guère? I love you. Vous m'entendez pas du tout. Comment ça va? Wow, you know, I knew playing with Gene was hot, but not that much with the alarm, you know? That was my heart. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bienvenue aux 13e édition des Prix de musique folk canadienne. On voudrait souligner que les terres sur lesquelles nous sommes réunis font partie des territoires non cédés des Algonquins. On rappelait hier, les gens qui sont venus, que c'est la première année qu'on fait ça sur 2 jours. Donc, 2 jours, c'est 2 fois plus de plaisir. Déjà, l'année passée, j'avais eu beaucoup de plaisir une seule journée. Mais là, 2 jours, là, c'est vrai. Oui. Et on ne parle pas des nuits encore, on parle que des jours.
Welcome to the 13th Annual Canadian Folk Music Awards. And the first thing we would like to do is acknowledge that the land on which we gather tonight is traditional, unceded Algonquin territory. We're experimenting with a different format this year by combining the gala with the nominee showcases. And that basically puts the light right where it belongs on our nominated artists. And tonight's show contains 10 award presentations and 6 nominee performances. The show is live streamed, so a big hello to all of you out there who might be watching, and to our fortunate audience members here in the audience, welcome. And I just have one thing that I would also like to say to our unsung hero who received his award last night, Jerry Strong, happy birthday. Jerry is a gazillion years old today. Okay. Yes, okay, so to introduce our, to present the Young Performer of the Year, we have Peter Stone. And Peter is half of the duo 100 Mile House with his wife, Denise McKay. Their song, Run, was chosen as winner of ATB's All Albertan Song Contest, and they are nominated for Ensemble of the Year here tonight.
On voudrait accueillir Peter Stone.
Hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. I feel really privileged to be able to present Young Performer of the Year on behalf of Penguin Eggs magazine. A magazine that since 1998, when it had its first issue released, has become a really important part of the Canadian folk music scene. Canadian folk music is in very good hands. These young people bring their youthful perspective and energy to the traditions of folk music, keeping it alive and vibrant for generations to come. This year's nominees are Kelty Monaghan for Someone Tell Her, Moscow Apartment for Demo, John Muirhead for Yesterday's Smile, Quinn Etheridge Badan for Embark, and The Wolf for The Wolf. The 2017 Young Performer of the Year is Moscow Apartment for Demo.
But I've never won an award before. So, I've won 1 award before. I've never had to give a speech though, so.
Yeah, this is really new. Okay. First, you wanna?
Oh, we
already got it, Mom. It's okay. First, we want to thank. Oh my God. Okay. First, we want to thank our families. I want to thank my mom and my dad and my little sister. My mom, she's the one that just came up.
We wouldn't be here without them. They've helped us a lot and put up with a lot.
They drove us here.
Yeah.
We want to thank the other nominees. We're so honored to be in like such great company. So many talented musicians.
I don't think we'd be where we are if it wasn't for like all the support that the folk music world has for like youth artists, and we've had so many like opportunities through the different mentorship programs and things like that. And it's been amazing, all like the mentees and oh my God. We'd like to thank everyone here at the CFMAs. And lastly, we would like to thank our producer and mentor, Samantha Martin. She's helped us so much, and yeah, she's great. She helped us so much, and we definitely would not be what we wouldn't have an album if it weren't for her, honestly. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a year, so thank you.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that Young Performer of the Year is sponsored by Penguin Eggs magazine. And to present the new Emerging Artist of the Year, which is sponsored by Folk Music Ontario, we have Alka Sharma. She's a very busy woman. She is the Executive Director of Folk Music Ontario, and she is on the board of Folk Alliance as well as the CFMAs.
Elle a même été gérante des opérations seniors au Toronto International Film Festival. En fait, on l'a décrit comme elle est petite mais pleine d'énergie. C'est une pile sans fin, en fait, une boule d'énergie. Je vais y accueillir Alka Sharma.
Whether new to the scene or in a new configuration, these artists are finding wider audiences both at home and abroad. We congratulate all of you for bringing something new to the music and traditions we love. The nominees for this year's New Emerging Artists are the Bombadils for New Shoes, Raiding Gates for Much Rather Be Sleeping, Hidden Rings Collective for Come Up Honey, Silent Winters for Fireworks and a Small Brigade, and Ken Yates for Huntsville. Ken Yates is the recipient.
I'll try to be more composed than I was last night, but this is amazing. I've been making records and touring for about 10 years now, so I've been emerging very slowly. And you know, it's when you're booking your own shows and funding your own records, it's easy to lose sight of why you started doing this in the first place. But being a part of a weekend like this is a really good reminder of how much fun it is to be a musician. And so thanks to the CFMAs for doing this, and thanks to my manager Tim for fronting all the submission costs for submitting to awards. So I appreciate it. And thanks to my fiance Kate for putting up with my broke ass for 10 years. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it.
Wow! Là, c'est la grosse dynamite. Ce simple duo, en fait, ils sont en nomination dans 4 groupes. Le groupe vocal, chanteuse traditionnelle pour Maggie, groupe de l'année et l'album traditionnel de l'année. Ils sont de Nouvelle-Écosse, le CD s'appelle The Willow Collection. C'est un duo tellement doué. Même je me suis demandé qu'est-ce qu'ils mettaient dans la soupe dans leur famille pour avoir autant de talent. C'est incroyable. Moi, je les ai rencontrés dans le passé, il y a déjà quelques années. J'étais déjà impressionné, mais c'est fabuleux la montée qu'ils ont fait, le talent, comment il s'est développé.
Yep, certainly is. Cassie and Maggie MacDonald from Nova Scotia have 4 nominations here tonight, including Traditional Album of the Year and Traditional Singer of the Year. Some of their material is traditional and some of it is original, and all of it is performed with great heart and skill. They sing in English and Gaelic, and of course they're also terrific step dancers. And I think there's a quote from Live Ireland's Radio Dublin that sums it up nicely. The train is just gathering steam and leaving the station on these new stars. Please welcome Cassie and Maggie.
We had quite a start to the evening, didn't we? Who kept the biscuits in the oven too long? Who was it? Meg and I are so delighted to be here with all of you this evening. We come from Nova Scotia. Any East Coasters out there tonight? I'm gonna sing you a little song from our newest album, The Willow Collection. This is called Let No Man Steal Your Time. and gain the willow tree that all of the world may plainly see how my love's like to be, how my love's like to be. A woman is a lofty tree and a man's a clinging vine. From her branches carelessly take what he can find. He'll take what he can buy. And so happy to be here. We've been on the road all year long and it's been a very busy year. We've released the Willow collection and it's just been one great thing after the next since we've released the album. That last one was kind of a sassy one from the new record. And if you're offended by Let No Man Steal Your Time, don't worry, it's about 400 years old, so we like everybody, it's not personal opinion.
That's right. Well, we're going to wrap up here with one last song and then get to all of the other awards and incredible music tonight. This is the first track from our new record called Hangman, and it's really cheerful, I promise. So thank you all for coming out and supporting this incredible evening. Congratulations to every single nominee and everybody who just makes us able to create Canadian music the way we do.
It's Cassie McDonald over there on the fiddle. I'm Maggie. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
About 200% less fiddle up here, definitely.
Here we go. Yeah! Second, is the guitar on out there? No. Nor the fiddle. There's something wrong. Well, that was a false start. Just a second. Oh, here we go. Is that on now?
Yes.
Try the fiddle. All right, are we ready now? One big cheer. Thank you to the sound men as well, who are working so hard all day. Here we go.
For his road,
powers of Cassie Maggie's music have calmed our nerves a bit now, so I think we're capable of presenting a couple of awards. So the first one we're going to do is Instrumental Solo Artist of the Year. And dedicated musicians know that their instruments become an extension of who they are. It's a part of their soul, capable of conveying emotion and touching audiences in profound ways. And this year the nominees are
André Brunet pour La Grosse Maison Rouge.
Glenn Chatton for Dragonfly.
Mélanie Jamal pour The Modern Movement.
Roberto Lopez for Criollo Electric.
Et Don Ross pour A Million Brazilian Civilians.
Please applaud. Yes, very good. And this year the award goes to
André Brunet pour La Grosse Maison Rouge.
As you may be able to tell from my accent, my name is not André Brunet. He asked me to accept this award on his behalf and left me with the following to say. What a great honor for me. This is more than I was expecting. It's a real treat to be honored by the CFMA community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I'd like to thank my wife, Evelyn, my everyday accomplice, and also my executive producer for this project. Thanks to my brother Réjean and Simon, who helped me to produce my album. Simon Marion for his studio, Alpha Base Studio. And one more time, thank you to CFMA for highlighting the important work of musicians like me who contribute, I hope, to make our world better. Good evening to all.
Tall guy, aren't you, Graham? And now the Instrumental Group of the Year.
Oui, le groupe instrumentiste. En fait, c'est quelque chose qui demande du talent, c'est sûr, jouer un instrument, mais d'être dans cette catégorie-là, c'est pas qu'un musicien, c'est un paquet. Des fois, individuellement, c'est des musiciens qui sont vraiment superbes, mais ça prend souvent des années de développer une espèce de complicité qui se sent plus qu'il se voit. Ça devient naturel. Et dans ce groupe, les finalistes sont
Beyond the Pale for Ruckus.
The Fretless for Birdness.
Natalie McMaster and Donna Leahy for A Celtic Family Christmas.
Scott McMillan and Colin Grant for Good to Go.
And McIsaac and Mackenzie for the Bay Street Sessions. And the award goes to Scott McMillan and Colin Grant.
Ils sont supposés d'être ici.
Here for improvising. Okay.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a big congrats to all the nominees and the performers tonight. This is a real treat for us. We should say a big thank you to the CFMAs and Music Nova Scotia, Celtic Colors, CB Mike for their support for us musicians, and we should say a big thank you to Greg Silver, our engineer, Scott Ferguson, and Marika Simons, who did the art for the record. And Jennifer is our executive producer who keeps us between the ditches, so really appreciate her support too. Thank you so much, everybody. Looking forward to having some more tunes later, and we're going to wishing everybody safe travels as they go down the road.
Great. You said it all. I don't have anything to say that's worth listening to right now, but maybe later. Okay, thanks a lot.
Our next performer, Braden Gates, found his way into music through the fiddle, But one day he heard his neighbor, Joe Nolan, sing and fingerpick the guitar, and Braden knew that he had to do that too. His skill as a musician and his sincere and approachable songwriting have garnered him 2 nominations here tonight, New Emerging Artist of the Year and Contemporary Album of the Year.
Et le titre de l'album, c'est Much Rather Be Sleeping. Alors, donc, l'influence première, c'est son père violoneux. Il vient du nord-est de l'Alberta et il a touché à plein d'instruments. Pour vous dire le talent qu'il a à un si jeune âge, il a été comparé à Loudon Wainwright. Ses compositions sont pertinentes et étrangement très ancrées dans le présent. Il joue du violon et de la guitare, il a une maturité 3 fois plus vieux que lui. Mesdames et messieurs, Braden Gates.
I was hoping I could get out of this by pulling the fire alarm. Down again like I'm bound to lose. Steve rolls on singing Fort Worth blues. It's got me thinking if it's worth the ride. If I'm looking for something I just can't find. Drank too much at the show last night. One after another till I'm feeling alright. Sometimes I wonder how long it will last. Start moving forward, then I fall right back. Start moving forward, then I fall right back. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I don't even know what today is. Tell my mother I'm alright. She don't need to know the shape I'm in. These days I'm just wasting time. Towns is on singing, to live is to fly. Used to think maybe I would head down south. These days I'm just running my mouth. And I found a lover, she took me in. She's the best woman that there's ever been. To hell with diamond, to hell with pearl. I wish I could give her the whole damn world. I wish I could give her the whole damn world. But I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I don't even know what today is. Tell my mother I'm alright. She don't need to know the shape I'm in. When I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I don't even know what today is. Tell my mother I'm alright. She don't need to know the shape I'm in. Hell with diamond, hell with pearl. I wish I could give her the whole damn world. Yeah. Hey, thanks very much. How is everybody doing? That's awesome. It's really nice to be here. It's nice to be inside. And, I grew up in the Edmonton area in Sturgeon County, and when I was 19, I moved into the big city of Edmonton. I moved right next to the liquor store and the Love Boutique, and I didn't know which one to go into first. Thanks for laughing over there. I can't see you, but I can feel you. And this is a song I wrote about living around that area. It was the University White Ave kind of place. There was a woman named Bridget who would sell jewelry along the side of White Ave. It wasn't very nice jewelry, but she made it. And there was a man named Dale who I got to know, and he was always asking for change for whiskey and stuff like that, and I just gave him the whiskey from my pocket. I'm just kidding. It's called Perfect Shade of Blue. Bless the broken hearted who smell of whiskey and perfume. Sneak out after midnight, come home in the afternoon. I stole a necklace with her color from a pawn shop on 82. There's something about a perfect shade of blue. Winter has hit Edmonton and some have their complaints. Snowbirds pack their lives away into the southern state. Oh, I traced her name on a snowy hill with a pair of worn out boots, just thinking about a perfect shade of blue. Lord, Lord, lay me down to rest, to dream a dream upon the scars of her breath. And when the night fades from darkness, we'll have found a piece of truth. The sun will rise in the morning sky against a perfect shade of blue. I scratched on an 8-ball playing pool at the hotel. Tried to make my way around the dance floor just to break a lonely spell. And my efforts were diminished as I tripped over my shoe, just dreaming of a perfect shade of blue. Dale's on 107 outside the Max convenience store. 15 years without a home, he's been sleeping on the city floor. Surely there's something more that has been pulling you through. He said, have faith in the perfect shade of blue. Lord, Lord, lay me down to rest, to dream a dream upon the scars of her breath. And when the night fades from darkness, we'll have found a piece of truth. The morning rise against the perfect shade of blue. Bless the broken hearted who smell of whiskey and perfume. I sneak out after midnight and come home in the afternoon. I stole a necklace with her color from a pawn shop on 82. There's something about a perfect shade of blue. There's something about a perfect shade of blue. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm trying to figure out something to say here. I made this joke up. You know, I wish all my, no, what is it? I'm thinking about becoming a father so that all my dad jokes can just be jokes. Is that thing coming through? You guys laugh harder than when I tell my joke. Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here. Thanks to the Canadian Folk Music Awards for having me. I came from Edmonton, and the Oilers suck again, and it's nice to get out of town. We had 1 year of a good team, but you know, it doesn't. Thanks to the volunteers, and my new album is called Much Rather Be Sleeping, and it's I didn't think I don't know. When you write songs as a songwriter, like these songs that I play are a little bit emotional, kind of. And you know, you write them in a fit of sadness or a fit of emotion that sometimes passes. And as you know, play the song maybe a week later, it doesn't mean as much because you're not as angry when you wrote the song. You're not as, hey man. You're not as angry. But this song I'm gonna play, it means so much to me every time I play it, if not more. I can ring true to the sentiment, and it's called Much Rather Be Sleeping. So I'm going to end off with this. Thank you very much for listening. And I really want to start a band with Ken Yates. And it'll be Yates and Gates. I've only met him briefly, but maybe it's kind of awkward that I said that right here, but. It's not working. This is what we'll do, I think. We're gonna do this. Come up here. And so this song rings true to me. Dreamed of a girl, pretty and true. She took my hand, I took hers too. We were about to make love, as lovers do. Before we could kiss, I woke up blue. Now I'd much rather be sleeping, much rather be dreaming, in a bed, on the couch, on the grass, in the summer breeze. This world is cruel, dark and gray. When I'm sleeping, I dream it away. Dreamed I had wings like a bird in a tree, took to the skyline, we're getting sick. Oh, I woke shopping, my feet on the ground. I'd much rather be sleeping, much rather be dreaming, in a bed on a couch in the grass in the summer breeze. This world is cool. I want you to join me on that note. You gotta keep it going. Dark and gray, when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming away. Grant the world peace and an honest living in the name of God. No acts of killing, and despite our race, station and color, we came together now. Sisters and brothers, oh, I'd much rather be sleeping, much rather be dreaming, in a bed on a couch in the grass in the summer breeze. This world is cool. Dark and gray, when I'm sleeping, let me hear you clap your hands a little quieter.
Brayden boy, I gotta say, you made this big old hall feel just like my living room. That was great. Thanks a lot.
C'est là qu'on connaît quelqu'un qui jamais déculotté. Il arrive quelque chose, ah ouais, il va. C'est le gars à voir si vous voulez partir votre festival, là, Braden Gates. Maintenant, pour présenter le prochain prix, qui est l'album contemporain de l'année, j'inviterai une personne qui est auteur-compositeur, musicienne, chanteuse, organisatrice, maman. Je dis ça maman parce que quand je lui demandais à l'arrière, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais maintenant? Ah, je fais plus grand-chose, je suis maman. Mais c'est un accomplissement. Je voudrais souligner ça pour toutes les mamans. C'est un accomplissement.
Anna Mura is the Managing Director at Mura Art and Events Consulting, the Canadian representative at Folk Alliance International, and she's also a singer-songwriter, and she co-runs the local breast charity Babes for Breasts, and she's here tonight to present the Contemporary Album of the Year. Please welcome Anna Mura.
Giving voice to the issues of our times and reflecting the pulse of our nation, the newest and most exciting sounds and trends on the Canadian folk scene are reflected in the nominations for Contemporary Album of the Year. Bird's Nest by The Fretless. Hide Nor Hair by Abigail Lapel. I Go Where You Go par Tomato Tomato. Much Rather Be Sleeping by Braden Gates. And Twin Solitude par Leif Volbeck. Yeah, that's it. The recipient of the Contemporary Album of the Year is Hide Nor Hair by Abigail Howe. Keep going. Thank you. I'm speechless, literally. Thank you so much. I feel like I need to take a selfie to just know that this is really happening. It's such a great honor to be here with all of you. Congratulations to all of my contemporaries in the Album of the Year category. Let's give a big round of applause. This is beautiful. It's pretty heavy. I'm gonna put it down. Thank you so much to my producer, Chris Stringer, who was nominated for a different album this year. And a lot of really good friends helped work on this album with me, musicians and players in Toronto. Benjamin Herman, Rachel Cardiello, Joe Ernwine, they're all amazing artists in their own right as well. And thanks to Coke's Records, which is run by Ray Spoon, also an amazing, inspiring artist. And thank you so much to everyone at the CFMAs, all the volunteers, board members, jurors. Am I forgetting anyone? And the biggest thank you to my partner, Jeff, better known as Fedge, who also worked on the album. If there was an award for mastering engineer, I think he would definitely be the recipient. Anyway, and thank you to all of you guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of the music.
We're fortunate in Canada to have a large assortment of musical traditions from around the world. The fusion of traditional and contemporary sounds from different cultures creates music that transcends borders and enriches our lives.
Donc, dans la catégorie artistes solo musique du monde, moi, c'est une catégorie chaque année, je trouve, où il y a toujours des belles découvertes, des gens que j'avais jamais entendus, jamais vus avant. Alors, c'est encore le cas. Les finalistes sont, pour la catégorie, Kelly Bado pour Entre deux.
Briga for Femme.
Maneli Jamal pour The Modern Movement.
Farnaz Ohadi for Bird Dance.
Luis Simayo pour The Luz Delight.
And this year's recipient for World Solo Artist of the Year is...
Luis Simayo pour The Luz Delight.
Merci, thank you. Wow, I did not expect this. Thank you to the Canadian Folk Music Awards. Congratulations to all the nominees. I was in amazing company. I want to quickly thank, there's so many people to thank in the making of A Luz, which means the light in Portuguese. First and foremost, my wife, Jessica Lloyd, who puts up with me. My brother, my producer, Luis Orbegoso, affectionately known as Luisito. John Beadle Bailey, who engineered and mixed the record. David Travers Smith, who mastered it. And the countless, yes, David Travers Smith, give it up. And the countless musicians who participated on the album. There are too many to name. And the record was an homage to my father, who passed away in 2009. So I'd like to dedicate this to him, Louis-José Correa Simão, and to my 2-year-old daughter, who she just turned 2 about just over a week ago. So this is for Amalia as well. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the music.
Maintenant, place à la musique encore. On va avoir un groupe qui commence à faire parler de lui pas mal au Québec. Coco Méliès. C'est qui Coco Méliès? C'est Francesca Como et David Méliès. Ils vont être accompagnés au violoncelle par Julien Thibault. Et qu'est-ce que c'est en fait Coco Méliès? Premièrement, c'est un groupe vocal. C'est dans la catégorie dans laquelle ils sont en nomination. Le CD s'appelle The Riddle. Et qu'est-ce que c'est comme musique? C'est des chansons envoûtantes, parfois entraînantes. Les voix se répondent avec une poésie remplie de vent, d'astres, de chutes et de mer. Ils ont fait entre autres la première partie de Brandvan 3000 et d'Alex Nevsky.
Carl Gustav Jung, the famous psychoanalyst, once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And that transformation is apparent when you hear David Méliès and Francesco Como sing together in harmony as Coco Méliès." Please welcome.
Didn't notice there are people around when you're almost at an inch of my hand. Always be careful where you stand. I don't want my knees on the ground. I wanna live by your side. Don't wanna lie for a smile. I wanna cry by your side. Don't wanna die, will much aside. Busting up my images from another time. It begins to be really close to a crime. You know when you're living up in the past just to get what it takes to live fast. I said I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. You don't wanna know what happened to me. I said I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. You don't wanna know what happened to me. I said I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. You don't wanna know what happened to me. I said I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. You don't wanna know what happened to me. I said I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go. You don't wanna know what happened to me. Would you let it to myself? Oh, you let it to myself. Oh, you let myself be. Oh, you do.
I called home to find you, sitting at the edge of your lifetime. I called home to find out that you took waiting to go.
Here we go.
Et on parlera pas beaucoup, on a envie de faire de la musique.
Talk less, play more.
Exactement. On est déjà jasés, on peut jaser.
I fear the loneliness with you, the sight of us hanging through the worlds colliding as waterfall, falling in the deep skin. We walk before we knew how to dance, stepping in how we can, and there is cutting through the woods. My love is there, my love is there. just climb. Call me a crazy or lazy, I don't mind. As long as you leave. I don't want to grow this to fame. I'm waiting for you like a Christmas day. Oh please, please, please hurry. I'm hiding in the sun with my hand. I'm hiding in the sun and the shadow of my view. I let them one by one go away. Trying my best to laugh as you walk down the aisle. When I'm getting away from here, I wonder if she remembers me at all. Doesn't it seem right to still dream of the sound of your knuckles on my door? I'm hiding in the sun with my hand. I'm hiding in the sun in the shadow of my view. One more time. I'm hiding in the sun with my hand. I'm hiding in the sun in the shadow of my view. In the shadow of my view. Shadow like you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. That's it for the first half. We just want to say we're going to take about 20-25 minute intermission, and we want to remind you that the CDs of all the nominated artists here tonight and throughout the weekend are available out in the lobby.
Tu peux prendre un verre aussi pendant la pause de 20 minutes. Vous avez le temps aussi. Il y a des artistes qui prennent le temps d'y aller. Vous allez parler avec eux. C'est un bon temps. Ben, à tout de suite. Merci.
Graham, they're getting a bit of shuttering noise. I've got mine on quiet. There's a bit running around. I'm doing it too. Mine's on the side. It's not wrong. Yeah, mine's a silence, I think it's this girl. Yours is kind of loud too. Anyway, you should sit over there. Change perspective for, well, to change perspective for all the shots. Yeah, that's, no, and hers is just loud. Yours is comparatively loud.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so picking up by the mic through the light. Yeah.
I'm alright with that. For a good noise.
You know what? Let's all start using flashes. Because then it'll be the full paparazzi. Stay down and I can move around as much as we're all starting to make it is what it is. We can avoid it a bit, that's all. I'll up shoot from behind the speaker stand there. Yeah. That was a great spot.
personal trainer.
There were very few people.
Without seeing it with my own eyes.
Right. They also have 2 CDs. Which one? No, but there's 2 CDs of Local Man.
Welcome back for Act 2. So our first performer tonight, a legendary duo from Nova Scotia. I first met guitarist Scotty McMillan at an after-hours session at the East Coast Music Awards, and this was in Charlottetown, PEI, about 20 years ago. And he was just so astonishingly good. I was completely bowled over. And after the session, I told him I didn't know if I was going to go home and burn my guitar or lock myself in my bedroom and practice for 10 years and not come out till I sounded like him. And 20 years later, I haven't burnt my guitar because grit would kill me. And I still don't sound like him, but he really is one of my favorite guitar players. And he's playing with Colin Grant, who's a wonderful and versatile fiddler who has flirted with many different styles of music, including rock, folk, and country, but his true love is the fiddle music of Cape Breton. Together they're nominated for, well, they won Instrumental Group of the Year. That's right.
Yeah. Le CD s'appelle Good to Go. Il faut dire aussi qu'ils ont eu l'album traditionnel instrumental au East Coast Music Award. Ils l'ont gagné aussi. Ces deux gars, c'est intéressant parce que c'est deux gars qui ont déjà des carrières bien établies, bien amorcées, qui chacun de leur côté sont compositeurs et sont passionnés. Comment ça a commencé? Je leur ai demandé en fait avec une session. Scott a engagé Colin pour une session. Il a dit c'est tellement bon, il ne faut pas que nous cessions. Alors ils ont continué. C'est de la haute voltige faite avec tellement d'aisance. Veuillez accueillir Scott McMillan et Colin Grant.
It's a real treat to be here in Ottawa. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you. It's extra special for me to be in Ottawa tonight because last night I was in Calgary airport and I found out what happens when you forget to bring your ID to the check-in gate. Did you know that if you don't have your ID, you can apply for a hunting and fishing license, and your picture isn't even on it, and that'll get you onto a plane. So I'm the semi-proud owner of a hunting and fishing license for 1 year in the province of Alberta. I'm extra happy to be here tonight. So anybody wants to come out and go fishing for some land salmon with me? Here we go. inspiring getting to have some tunes with this fella. We did a little gig over in Scotland a couple of years ago, and that kicked off a pretty fun and inspiring bit of teamwork and a lot of good time spent around Scott's kitchen table working out tunes. And Scott brings a lot of different influences to the table, as you can hear: jazz, blues, classical, a little bit of Celtic, and you can always tell what Scott is coming from the day before by how he's playing. It's like, oh, I recognize that lick. He's coming from the big band gig yesterday.
Time in the garden too.
Sometimes you just got to put your shovel in the ground and scoop up the dirt, eh, buddy?
That's right. You just put your shovel right in the ground and plant potatoes.
So we're going to try a couple of jigs for you here. That one of them was composed on our trip over to Scotland, and we're going to put our hockey helmets on for this one.
such a pleasure to be here in Ottawa, to be here with the CFM, eh? And,
you got up early to think of that one, eh?
Yeah, geez. Anyways, thank you all for being here, and thanks to the CFMA to invite us to come and for us to be here, and I'm just having a good time. What's wrong with that? The most important thing about music is to have fun, and I'm going to be intent. I'm going to be, really intensely have fun. It's important.
Hello to everybody watching at home.
Yeah. On your computers. Here we go.
One more for the road.
Congrats to all the nominees.
See what I tell you? Something else. Our next award is the Traditional Album of the Year, and it's sponsored by Wavelength Media. And to present it tonight, we have a fellow to whom you never say, "You had just one job." Graham Lindsay has all of the jobs. He was the chair of the local CFMA committee here in Ottawa, and he's also the CFMA web, video, photo, and music guide. He also plays a mean tenor mandolin, and that is the only way you can put mean and Graham Lindsay into the same sentence.
En fait, c'est un homme qui touche à tout. Tout est magique avec lui. Moi, je pense, on le connaît aussi comme vidéaste, mais je pense qu'on pourrait faire un film sur lui. Je pense qu'on pourrait appeler ça un homme en or. Je pense que ça serait bien, ça. Je vous demande d'accueillir Graham Lindsay.
Music passed from generation to generation becomes part of our cultural fabric and collective souls. Traditional music is pretty fantastic, and we're here to celebrate the best in traditional music in the country right now. Couldn't hear you, but thank you. The nominees for Traditional Album of the Year are Jamie Stone's Folklife by Jamie Stone, La Grosse Maison Rouge par André Brunet, the original Jenny Whiteley by Jenny Whiteley, Rove by Coig, and The Willow Collection by Cassie and Maggie. Yeah. And the 2017 Traditional Album of the Year goes to, I should have pre-opened the envelope, The Willow Collection by Cassie and Maggie.
I spent a lot of money on those shoes that I just kicked off. Thank you so much to Graham and Wavelength Media for sponsoring this award. And thank you to our mom and dad, John and Anita, who are here this evening. They took us to every lesson and made sure we stayed up to hear the best tunes very late at night. Dave Gunning was the wonderful partner we had in this record, as well as Alex Mead. And thank you to every single nominee tonight. We listened to all of your records on the road, in the car, and it got us to our gigs on time and cheerful and happy. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Maintenant, la prochaine catégorie chanteur traditionnel de l'année, c'est quelqu'un qui l'a eu souvent, le prix. C'est une, vraiment, moi ça fait longtemps que je le connais, c'est une des plus belles voix que j'ai entendues dans ma vie. C'est vraiment une déclaration, je vous dis, là, il m'a touché tellement, il y a tellement de ces chansons que j'ai remis chez moi. Quand les enfants étaient petits, quand ils ont grandi, c'est quelqu'un qui m'a beaucoup inspiré dans ma vie.
To present Traditional Singer of the Year, we have Ian Robb, who is one of the finest, but he's really the best traditional singer in our country. I love his singing. And he's well known for his work with Finest Kind and the Friends of Fiddler's Green. And his next project is to join a band that does not begin with the letter F. Please welcome Ian Robb.
Hello, everybody. Taking yesterday's songs and making them relevant to a contemporary audience is the task of the traditional singer. And I'm very pleased to present the nominees for Traditional Singer of the Year. Melisande Jelina Fauteur of De Melisande, Electro-Trad, for Les Millésimes. Maggie MacDonald of Cassie and Maggie for The Willow Collection. Dave Penny for All Turned Around. Sarah Jane Skelton for When the Bloom Falls from the Rose. And Hannah Shearer Naiman for Know the Mountain. And this year's Traditional Singer Award goes to Hannah Shearer Naiman. Put the baby down. to put a baby down.
I had to run all the way from the back because I'm trying to make my 6-month-old sleep. Whoa. Thank you so much. I can't even see anyone out there, but I know there are so many amazing musicians that not only were in this category, but in all the others. And it's really lovely to be standing up here and the recipient of this award. I'm really proud of the album that I made. I feel like in making it, I really found a voice, and so it's nice to be recognized as the singer. Thank you to Don Kerr for your work producing this album. Thank you to my parents for raising me in the traditional scene. Thank you to David for hanging out by my side, and this has been a crazy year. I just had a kid, as I mentioned, and holy moly, now I'm holding an award and I'm gonna cry, so I have to leave. Thank you.
Suzanne, vous savez que quand vous promenez dans le milieu folk et qu'un nom qui revient régulièrement année après année, qu'on voit partout, c'est parce que c'est une valeur sûre. C'est son cas. Son CD, A Girl in Teen City, a été en nomination chanteuse contemporaine, auteur-compositeur anglophone. Elle a débuté son personnage au Susanna dans les années 90. Et bon, du country, du blues, la musique roots. Mais avec ce CD-là, c'est comme ça. C'est une consécration, c'est vraiment une belle finale, en fait, pas fini. Et elle va être accompagnée à la musique par Jim Bryson, Eli Abrams et Cam Giraud.
Music Riot rated her album A Girl in Teen City 5 stars, saying, "It's a gorgeous piece of work. There's something here for anyone who appreciates the art of songwriting and great musicianship." And for more than 20 years, O Susanna has chronicled the ups and downs of the human heart. Her songs are inhabited by characters that all of us have met before, troubled souls, young rebels, and lost loves, compassionately brought to life by a wise woman with a beautiful worldly voice. Please welcome O Susanna.
In the dark of the theater,
I grew up going to the Vancouver Folk Music Festival and seeing a lot of incredible artists, and some of them were very unknown. They would just be picked, you know, not by the mainstream at all. Gary Crystal would go and find all these incredible artists, and of course he would pepper it with some famous people like Pete Seeger and Billy Bragg. And when I was growing up, basically folk music merged with punk rock, and there was a band called DOA, and Joey Shithead, the lead singer, had This Machine Kills Fascists on his guitar, so he was kind of like the punk rock Woody Guthrie. So we would try to go see every single show they ever played that we could get into, but one night we didn't get there because we were foolish teenagers. So we got caught by the cops, sent home to our parents. So one minute we were with the coolest people on earth, and the next second we were like, oh, such losers. So here's a story about that. It's called Tickets on the Weekend, if you guys want to sing along to a nice folk song about punk rock, please do.
Your hands are jammed inside your pockets, but they're counting down the days.
It's really a great honor to be here and to be nominated. I'm not, you know, it would be nice to win, but I'm really, really just happy to be included in this beautiful community. And don't worry, Stephen, I'll kick you in the you-know-what later for winning my award. We're gonna go on tour together, and it's gonna be very fun. We thought of posing in boxer shorts and, you know, gloves and stuff before the results were known. Anyway, this is a song about, I'm a dual citizen, and I wasn't born in this country, but I'm sure glad that my parents decided in 1970 to pack me up with, you know, in the Volkswagen Bug and with my sister and leave their country, which was at war. The United States, you know, they were at war at the time, and they decided to come north and live in Vancouver, but we did have all these relatives across the border, and so we would go down there, and my aunt would always let me eat Twinkies and ding-dongs and beef jerky and sugar cereals, which my parents would never ever let us eat. So it was like the land of milk and honey for sure. So this is a song about growing up in their magical house. It's called Puget Sound.
All the magic that we found.
told you a little bit about this fellow who's been backstage all night, who's a award-winning luthier, musician, and president and founder of the Canadian Folk Music Awards and Borealis Records. But one thing you don't know about Britt Laskin is that he also has mad sword fighting skills. And I know this for a fact because I fought him in battle once, and this is a true story. And at the time, he was wearing nothing but pink sweatpants and a sombrero. And that was at a CFMA board meeting. No, I'm lying. Here we go.
Mais c'est aussi, Britt Laskin, c'est, bon, on parle souvent, il y a eu l'Ordre du Canada pour son travail avec la lutherie, les guitares Laskin, c'est incroyable. Il faut essayer au moins une fois dans sa vie. C'est aussi quelqu'un qui a eu il était récipiendaire du trophée du travailleur de l'ombre, il y a quelques années et tout. Alors, ah non, c'est pas lui qui l'a eu, c'est lui qui l'a pensé, le trophée. Alors, je vous demande d'accueillir Britt Laskin.
Hello, everyone. Having a good time? So are we. And my job here is to especially thank people who really deserve it, and not those who don't deserve it. No, what I meant was it takes a lot of people to put this together, and we've been doing this for 13 years, entirely volunteer. You need to know that. And the board of this organization does all the jobs, everything from backstage to coordinating the jury process, to running the show, to putting the booklet that you're reading together, to getting the awards made. It's all done by people who are here out of passion for this genre of music. And thank you for that. I want to tell you who these people are. Our board currently is Diana Stewart-Imbert, Bill Worthman, Bob Stark, Judith Laskin, Graham Lindsay, Bob Susi, Scott Merrifield, Alka Sharma, Jocelyn Barribeau, George Tierney, and myself. That is the board of CFMA. On their behalf, I thank you for that applause. Thank you all for being here, and those who are watching online. We really appreciate that you're paying attention to the things that we feel are so important. But you know, before I even talk about sponsors and other people who help put this together, the biggest sponsors of all are you, the artists themselves, the people who come out, all of the submitters of their albums. Without that, there would be no Folk Awards, and we're so gratified by the response we've gotten from the first year of starting this. It's just knocked us out and impressed us how relevant the folk community sees these awards, and we're so gratified by that. And you do need to know that we're pleased to be able to say that we're one of only 3 juried music awards in the country, the Junos, the Polaris Prize, and us. And we feel so strongly that the arm's length jury process is the way to give real value to all the nominees and all the ultimate recipients, that you are really considered deserving, not just by your pals, but by an arm's length group. So I want to salute all of you who've submitted, who are here tonight and are out there. But as any of you know who organize things and create things, you can't do it alone. Even here in Ottawa, the local committee has been fantastic. There's more names than I can take the time to mention here. They're all listed in your book. Please look. But I suppose, especially I want to mention Bill Nesbitt and the folks from the Grassroots Festival. There's a large corps of volunteers, and they've been helping us out front, backstage. Couldn't do it without them. So thank you, folks, for that. And you will note on your program, on the first inside page, is all these logos. I know you're used to seeing logos. You go to festivals and you go to concert events and you always see the logos of the sponsors. And we're kind of used to it and we don't pay too much attention, but you know, Without these people who have decided that what we're doing is of value, and they cough up their hard-earned cash to make sure we can pull it off, couldn't do it without them. We're so appreciative. Please pay attention. Go to the Edmonton Festival. Go to the Calgary Folk Club. Buy a Stan Rogers record. Fogarty's Cove supports us. Ariel Rogers, his widow, is been here. And there's more. Wavelength Media, True North Records, Long and McQuaid, who has supplied all the backline equipment. Backline, by that we mean the amplifiers, extra microphones, extra sound cables. They do that all around the country, and that's their way of supporting music of all kinds. It's wonderful to get that kind of support. So I pointed out a few. There are a couple who didn't quite get on here. They were late coming in. One is a friend of the CFMA's, a local here named Tom Fountain. And Tom, before he got into his real estate business, and I hope he's very successful, he was coming to the Folk Awards, photographing them for us, supplying us all the images for no cost, just because he wanted to support. And he's continued to be a sponsor, and people like that make it all worthwhile. But lastly, before I finish my little thank you bit here, I want to especially mention Mark Delorme and his crew here on stage. To do these fast changeovers so we're not here until tomorrow. And last night when we were here, we had more larger bands with large ensembles, and the moves happened, you know, in just minutes. It's incredible, and we really appreciate you, Mark, and your crew. It's been wonderful. Last thank you I'm going to mention is one you wouldn't be aware of, but James Keelahan did a concert at the National Arts Centre this afternoon. I don't know if anyone there or knew about it, but you have to know that James was booked to play the National Arts Centre tonight. That's an important concert for any artist who's playing, and he moved it to the afternoon so he wouldn't compete with the Folk Awards. Thank you, James. Where would we be without that attitude? I'll tell you, it really proves this is a community, and we're celebrating this community tonight. So while I'm here, it's my task to tell you about the next award, Vocal Group of the Year. Recent research has proven that heart rates synchronize when people sing together. Pete Seeger knew that intuitively. The folk music world has always celebrated the primal power of singing, the beauty of harmony, and now we know it's good for our health as well. The Vocal Group of the Year nominees for 2017 are the Big East for Hungry Ghosts, the Bombadils for New Shoes, Cassie and Maggie for the Willow Collection, Coco Melier for the Riddles, Twin Flames for Single Fire. And the recipient of this year's Vocal Group of the Year goes to Coco Melier. And we know you're here because you were on stage. And here they come.
That I know how to sing now because it's a full group, so I'm half of it, so I know half. Our thing is going to be in French, so my mom can understand it.
Oh wow! Premièrement, on aimerait remercier Simon & Garfunkel, Bob Dylan, the Beatles, Neil Young, tragically hit Damon Rice, the Spice Girls, no, not the Spice Girls. Oh well, they were good too. But merci d'avoir fait la musique que vous faites. C'est pour ça qu'on fait ce qu'on fait aujourd'hui. And this award is just so amazing for us because we started we're just singing together. That's what brought us together, the voices, and we felt that there was something special with that. And man, I can't believe it, wow!
proper way. I'd like to thank our manager. Ah non, I said I'm going to say it in French.
Vas-y en français, oui.
Je voudrais remercier notre manager, notre gérant, le troisième, Guillaume Rebout, qui est avec nous. On est bon travail, je ne peux pas dire de plus. Le band qui joue avec nous, mais qui avait juste genre 1/3 of the band. Julien Thibault, Simon Bilodeau, Ariane Vaillancourt, notre compagnie de disques, our label, Audiogramme, compagnie booking, 9e vague. I'd like to thank Coco. Francesca.
Hey, merci à toi.
Yeah. And, so, yeah, thanks.
Hey, have a great evening. Thank you so much. On a toujours une activité à nous catégoriser. Folk, on est-tu contemporain, on est-tu pop? Ce soir, la grande famille du folk nous dit oui, merci. Thanks to the folk family. Thank you so much.
Just a quick correction, this never ever happens, but Britt made a tiny mistake tonight, and the volunteer coordinator is not Bill Nesbitt, but Bob Nesbitt, so we would like to thank him. And we'd like to thank Bill Nesbitt too, wherever he is. He's a fine fella, he plays concertina, he has a house in Harbour Grace, actually, Newfoundland, so thank you, Bill, for being Bill, and also Bob for being Bob. Okay, so our next award is Ensemble of the Year, and is being presented by a man who has devoted his entire life to folk music and folk musicians. Founder of the Ottawa Folklore Centre and a founding member of the CFMAs, Arthur McGregor now enjoys the life of the wandering minstrel, traveling with his wife Wendy Moore as the Celtic Rathscallions.
C'est un des gens, un des fondateurs des prix de musique folk, mais c'est un gars qui a plusieurs chapeaux aussi, comme Grid. Et c'est un gars charmant qui, toutes les fois que vous le revoyez, on dirait qu'il est plus jeune et plus jeune. Je ne sais pas ce qu'on son truc. Mesdames et messieurs, Arthur McGregor.
You know, when you think of ensembles, you think of, you know, a nice pair of pants and a jacket and a hat that matches. And it all goes together, and that's what a music ensemble is as well. Blending voices, vision, artistic vision, instruments, and personalities is real art. The nominees are Cassie and Maggie for the Willow Collection, Mama's Broke for Count the Wicked, Silent Winters for Fireworks and a Small Brigade, the Jerry Cans for Inusik, 100 Mile House for Jerez. And the recipient of this year's Ensemble of the Year award is Mama's Broke. So I will gladly accept on their behalf. Like a lot of musicians, they're working. Congratulations.
Musique. Un grand monsieur qui va jouer ce soir, un autre qui m'impressionne beaucoup. Son dernier CD, Every Soul's a Sailor. Bon, dans plusieurs catégories, qui a été finaliste, meilleur réalisateur avec David Travis Smith, auteur, compositeur anglophone, artiste solo. C'est un gars qui a une feuille de route vraiment impressionnante. Il est né à Vancouver, il a grandi en Irlande, entre autres avec des futurs membres de YouTube. Puis je dois vous dire justement, c'est pour ça que maintenant ils sont connus internationaux, parce qu'ils ont connu Steven. Il a demeuré sur Minnesota, il est revenu à Vancouver. Et ça, à un jeune âge déjà. Alors, c'est un peu comme s'il a réussi à ramasser tous les bons microbes sur son chemin pour aboutir au Stephen Furring d'aujourd'hui.
Stephen Furring's songwriting encompasses every imaginable type of human story, from the tragic to the uplifting. This, combined with his phenomenal skills as a guitarist and a singer, makes him an inimitable musical force. He had 4 nominations this year, and we are very happy to present Stephen Furring.
you doing? Are you tired? You are, I bet you're knackered. Come on, Steven, just finish her up here. Backstage, there's a lot of laughter going on. High spirits. And I was reminded, standing back there watching Susie, watching my friend Scott McMillan, watching Cam play his drums, what a delightful thing it is to play music for a living. It's hard, there's tens of dollars to be made, but really, it's such a beautiful thing to do. We're so lucky that we get to do it. I was joking last night about my tiny team of people, my agent and my manager, and I love them and I work closely, but of course, it's not the truth. There's so many people that help you as you go along, including your family. Do you love your children? Do you treat them right? Kiss them good morning, kiss them good night. I love that girl. I give her everything I have, and I'll never have enough. She gets everything I am. Do you love your woman? Do you treat her right? Hold her in your arms, look her in the eye. I love that woman. I give her everything I have. I never have enough, but she gets everything I am. When the siren crows upon the morning, somewhere in a city all alone, you hear that lonesome whistle in your heart, tells you all you need to know. And when you hear that voice calling, everybody knows that when ahead of you are singing you back home, and you turn around, it takes everything you have. You never have enough. You give everything you can. The sound check. So, an album, Every Soul's a Sailor, I wrote most of that album. There we go. Turn this microphone down because it's just going to go crazy. I know it's not you, but if you can convey that to Doug, that'd be great. Most of it was written at a little cottage cabin up in Wells, BC. And the person who loaned me the cottage, have them switched around? Yeah, we do. That's... The person who loaned me the cottage was a guy named Peter North. Peter used to be really involved in CKOA. He's the artistic director for the Salmon Arm Festival. And he was kind enough to let me use his cabin, and I was up there for a week. How are we doing now? And whilst I was there, I wrote most of the songs in the record. And the very last thing I bought in Quesnel after getting, you know, bacon and bread and butter and stuff. The very last thing I bought as I was walking through the gauntlet of chocolate on my way to the till was a magazine, and on the cover of the magazine, this is March of last year. You know who was on the cover of that magazine? number 45 to be. Of course, he wasn't 45. He was going to be the nominee for the Republican Party. That's great. Maybe a little less now. That's good. Right there. Anyway, I stared at that picture. The word blowhard has always been one of my favorite words. As a songwriter, you look for words that have a lot in them and come off the tongue with a certain panache. So, blowhard. And that particular photograph of your man, who at the time was just trying to become the nominee for the Republican Party, and I thought, there's no way. There's no way. Why am I even writing this song? I am writing a song with the shortest shelf life of songs in the history of songs. I could only make it shorter if I included the word Wi-Fi in it. Anyway, as I watched the election happen, I thought, holy fuck, I'm going to be singing this song for 2 years, maybe? 4 years, I don't think so. I don't want to live in a blowhard nation with a king in a tinselly crown. When the whole thing wobbles and the wheels come off, you know what's gonna go down. This is a sad story about the power and the glory, the big sights leaving uptown. It's the old rat race, so get ready for the chase, cause the fat cats are gaining ground. I got up this morning and I grabbed me a paper to read up on the low down. The front page feature was a weird-looking creature with a rug and a jowly frown. Some of my sinister neighbors are rattling the sabers and the circus is a-coming to town. It's like a bad tattoo and there's nothing you can do. I can sure use a stiff thing now. Spine in the words, and when they talk of resurrection, they think of the election. It's the saddest thing I ever heard, and the whole debate has a sickening weight, like a spear when the hammer comes down. When you see the cross, well, you better get lost. They're gonna burn something down. I don't want to live in a blowhard nation with a king so they cry. When the whole thing wobbles and the wheels come off, you know what's gonna go down. This is a sad story about the power and the glory, the big sights living uptown. It's the old rat race, so get ready for the chase. The fat cats are gaining ground. Mistake when they're showing you the cake, they never let you eat it now. Well, thank you very much. I'm having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to play one more song, and I appreciate you listening. You have to imagine yourself up at that cabin in Wells, BC. Smoke going straight up from the chimneys. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. The tinker and the tailor, the beggar and the thief, the winners and the failures, the shepherd and the sheep. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. Born into creation, drawn toward the light, with blind imagination, we go swimming in the night, and the guiding star of fate shines for our mortality. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the sea. Read the cards and weep. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. I drove into the mountains, I left the world behind, a singer on a mission with a half a case of wine. And I stared up at the night sky, pure infinity. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the sea. Look before you leap. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. Read the cards and weep. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. Every soul's a sailor rolling on the deep. Thank you very much. Seriously, guys, thanks a lot.
I seem to have lost my very tall co-host. I'm sure he'll turn up eventually. We would like to thank you all for coming out tonight, and of course Grit did handle most of the thank yous, so we do have a few more left. One of the groups of people that we would like to thank are the jurors, who basically listened to all the submissions, took them a long time, and they made very thoughtful decisions, I think, and a very difficult job to do because it was very high quality of work, as you can see from all the nominees who performed over this weekend. Bonjour Benoit, comment ça va? It's good to have you back. What were you doing?
Well, I was trying to learn how to play guitar with those people. It takes me a long time, you know.
Oh, well, what did you learn how to play?
No, I know, first string.
I just did the jurors, so it's up to you now.
That's good.
All right.
Donc, remerciements Donc à tout le monde, les jurys, les gens aussi qui ont été nominés, des finalistes, et vous, le public, évidemment. Et l'année prochaine, est-ce que vous voulez encore un gala? You want another one next year?
Go West, young man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Calgary next year. So put in your calendar. It's going to be a real party. We bring the horses for you.
Okay, well, we have one final thing to do tonight, and we would like you all to participate in this. A new tradition began last year by the Canadian Folk Music Awards. The National Strum brought musicians together from across Canada through the magic of technology, because although we've had some technological problems tonight, when technology does work, it actually is great. So we're going to play a well-loved and respected song from our National Folk Songbook. The song chosen as this year's National Strum is Time Wanders On by Cara Luft and Bella Kirby. Great song. It has been popularized by the duo Small Glories, and the words to the song are at the end of your program. We might bring up the house lights a little bit so that you can see the lyrics. And Graham Lindsay went across the country filming musicians who lent their voices to this fantastic song. So please sing along, and here it is. And if there's anybody backstage, we'd love to invite you to come on stage to sing with us and to say goodnight to you all.
Page 27 in your...
I've seen the northern lights brought me to my knees. Where you are, where you roam, time wanders on, time leads you home. I chase the river's rush, run down to the sea, charting seasons in the skies, passing as they meet. Where you are, where you roam, time wanders on, time leads you home. I wish the sun was the light flame. Harvest fields burn beneath her blaze. Heard the wild geese cry as they cross the plain. Heard the wind call my name. I see a hundred towns, city shining bright. Slept among the summer stars, dance with the winter's nights. Where you are, where you roam, time wanders on, time leads you home.
Thank you for coming.